And now, All the Dirt, gardening tips and advice. Sponsored by Farm Credit, loans for farms, homes, and land.
Welcome back. Well, even though we are deep in the fall right now, there's plenty of things that you can do in your yard. Today we have Sean Jadnerchik from the Virginia Cooperative Extension. He's given us all the dirt on how to fertilize your lawn. Welcome, Sean.
Thanks for having me here.
Yeah, we always love it when you come on because you always have some good information, especially today, because my big question is, why do we fertilize our lawns? Why?
Fertilizing your lawn will basically make your lawn stronger, denser, more resistant to weeds. It'll also protect it from drought stress in the summertime because it'll have a stronger, deeper root system. So it really just also basically make it more resistant to wear and tear.
When is the best time to do it? I mean, we can do it now, right?
Yeah, there's basically two basic types of lawn. You've got your cool season grasses and your warm season grasses. So your cool season grasses, like fescue, those are going to stay green all through the winter time. So those you want to fertilize in the fall, like between September and October, or in the springtime, April time frame. If you have a warm season grass, it's going to turn brown in the wintertime. There's not a lot of those around, but some people do have them, maybe Bermuda grass or zoysia grass. Those you definitely want to fertilize only when they're actively growing, so April through July.
I hate to say this, but there is some math involved for this to figure out exactly how to go about fertilizing your lawn. So I need you to explain it because I'm not the math person here.
Yeah, so you don't want to over fertilize because that could not only, damage your lawn, it could also run off as pollution. So it's important to fertilize the right amount. So basically you have the amount of fertilizer you need in nitrogen per 1,000 square feet. And then what you want to do is you want to divide that number by the percent of actual nitrogen in your fertilizer. So in this example, we need 1 pound of nitrogen for 1,000 square feet, and then we divide that with the amount of nitrogen in our fertilizer, which is the first number on the bag. So that bag has 10% nitrogen in it, and then we multiply that by 100, and we get the amount of actual fertilizer we need to put out over that 1,000 square feet. So if our fertilizer bag only had 10% nitrogen in it, we'd be putting out 10 pounds of actual fertilizer over that 1,000 square feet. And then in this example, we needed 0.7 pounds of nitrogen per 1,000 square feet, and our fertilizer bag has 16% nitrogen in it. So we divide 0.7 by 16, multiply that by 100, and that gives us 4.3 pounds of fertilizer. But the other problem happens is your lawn isn't going to be exactly 1,000 square feet. So in this example, our lawn is 20 feet by 20 feet. So we multiply 20 by 20, and that gives us 400 square feet. So that's how many square feet our actual lawn is. So we take 400 square feet, we divide that by 1,000, and that gives us 0.4. So then we take the amount of fertilizer that we needed for 1,000 square feet, which in this example was 4.3 pounds. We multiply that times 0.4, and that gives us the reduced amount that we needed for our smaller lawn area because our lawn area wasn't a perfect 1,000 square feet. And in this example, that's 1.72 pounds.
Okay, so now we know when, we know how much, but then how do we go about actually doing it? How do you put it all over your lawn?
Yeah, so there's different types of spreaders. For smaller areas, I recommend just a hand crank spreader. For larger areas, you can use a bag spreader, and then sometimes people will have a push spreader. So then you just want to weigh out the specific amount of fertilizer for your area in that spreader, and then put that out.
A lot of information, but a lot of great information. Sean Jadnerchik from the Virginia Cooperative Extension, thanks so much for giving us all the dirt today on fertilizing our lawns.
Thanks for having me.